I don't want to disturb you.
Don't be silly. You couldn't disturb me. Thank you, Baxter.
I wouldn't have bothered you.
We should stop talking like that and move back in.
I only came to tell you Edith's about to receive some very bad news.
What? How do you know?
Her editor's on his way to see her this afternoon. I'm afraid it's what we've been waiting for.
However much you expected, it's still painful when it arrives.
Well, of course it's terrible. But what did she think he was doing? Living in a tree?
You mustn't make jokes, my lady.
Only in here. I'll be as solemn as a church when I go down. No, I am sorry, truly. He was a nice man. Though what he saw in Edith... Goodness. The York and Ainsty are holding a point-to-point at Canningford Grange on Saturday. And Mr. Blake has persuaded Lord Gillingham they should ride in it.
I thought you had to follow the hunt to be eligible.
They've both been out with the York and Ainsty. I'm sure they've wangled it. I might join them.
A lady's allowed to race with a gentleman.
They changed it just before the war. Papa thinks it terribly fast.
Do they want to stay at Downton? Mr. Blake and Lord Gillingham?
They want to meet at Canningford and then come here that night. Golly.
Why would his lordship come to Downton after you've broken it off?
Because he still won't accept that I know my own mind. Anna, do you think I'm looking rather frumpy?
Certainly not, my lady.
I'm tempted to remind them of what they're missing.
You'd never be that heartless.
Do we know when he'll get here?
Later this afternoon.
I should have some drawings for you all to look at before too long.
What sort of drawings?
Ideas for how we could renovate the rundown houses in the village.
Well, why is there such a building spurt?
Because the war showed how half the population were very badly housed.
They were shocked by how unhealthy some of the new recruits were. You cannot expect to get an A1 population out of C3 homes.
Who said that?
I think it was on a poster.
I heard from Charles today. He and Tony are competing in the point-to-point at Canningford on Saturday.
Atticus was talking about that.
Atticus?
Atticus Aldridge, the chap I met in York.
Has he become a friend?
Yes, he has rather. His parents, the Cinderbys, have bought Canningford Grange.
And now they're wooing the county. Lord Cinderby's rich, isn't he?
Who'd take it on if they weren't?
Well, why don't we all go and make a day of it?
Yes, we could ask Granny and Isabel and take the children. Shall I tell Charles they can stay here?
Of course, if you want them to.
When this fellow arrives, it would be nice if you could leave Edith and me to see him on our own.
I've shown him into the drawing room, but I'm afraid it is as we feared.
Oh, I am sorry.
His lordship's with them now.
He's here then?
Yes, and it's not looking hopeful.
Oh, dear.
He's gone.
Didn't you want some tea?
I offered him tea, dinner, and a bed for the night, but he had to get back. Gregson's dead, I'm afraid.
How terrible that is to hear. And was it this Herr Hitler?
Apparently. At least his gang of thugs during the so-called beer killer putsch in Munich. It took days for the police to get the city back under control, and by then any trace of Gregson was buried. They found him now, of course, or what's left of him.
It's too horrible to think about. At least they've locked Hitler up for 5 long years.
Coombs says he won't serve 5 years or anything like it. There's another thing. Edith inherits Gregson's publishing company.
I think I expected that.
I hope somehow it helps her get through this.
It was very generous of him.
I suppose they loved each other.
Oh, poor Edith. How is she taking it?
Hard to say. It wasn't a surprise, of course, but there's always a shred of hope, isn't there?
Shall I go and see her?
She's gone for a walk. She wanted to be on her own.
I'm sorry, my lady. I'm afraid it's not convenient just now.
I only want a moment.
As I said, it's not convenient.
What's this?
I don't want her to come in.
Well, there's no need to be rude.
Of course not.
Well, she's not coming in, and that's flat.
I'm trying to bring her around, but I wish she hadn't jumped the gun.
I know, but I had some bad news today, and I needed to see her.
You mean you were right about Marigold's father? I'm very sorry to hear it, but if you could just give me some time.
I don't have time, Mr. Drew.